Welcome to Fulfil Podcast, where we are unpacking opinions and changing destinations. I am your host, Sherley, where each week we will chat about how to rise strong out of all types of obstacles that come with relationships. Through personal life experiences and discussions ranging from infidelity, trust, forgiveness, sex, heartbreak, self-love, and so much more. I am passionate and obsessed to provide guidance to every woman to create a better life. Let's dive in, pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn. With me, your virtual girlfriend. Welcome back to another episode of Fulfil Podcast, and today we have a special guest with us. We have Martha. Martha is an industry-recognized confidence business coach with a global presence, an international entrepreneur, and founder of Super Confidence Coach, specializing in empowering business women to reach their full potential through confidence and achieving a balance between business, life, and relationship balance. She is recognized in the top 1% of all women's confidence, mindset, and business coaches in Australia, an international motivational speaker, and an author of 6 ebooks and 1 co author published book, and a master practitioner of neuro linguistic programming. Martha, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excellent. How are you?
I am doing well. Of course, I'm always happy when all our guests are on the show. So, again, many thank yous for coming on the show. It's very much appreciated that you're coming here to share your story, how you went from basically tragedy to triumph to where you are today. So I'm going to pass you the mic. If you can tell the listeners a little more about yourself, who you are, what you do, add to the, put some sprinkles on the ice cream, and then we'll start with your story.
Sounds wonderful. Everyone will be in for a trip. I have such a colorful life that cannot wait to share with you all. My name is Martha Mock. I'm now known as the super confident coach, but I wasn't always like this. I was someone who was in silence for over 30 years. Someone's that who been told that I was not worthy. I should just put my head down and just be the woman, the sister, the wife, the daughter that the society wants me to be. I refuse to do that. After being in silence for so long, for the last few years, I reclaim my voice. I always thought that I was confident. I own a very successful makeup business that allows me to travel around the world and meeting amazing people. But that's just on my outside. I have this, what people call the entrepreneur mask, a mask that I carry on so dearly, so heavily. Every single day, I feel less and less breathless. I feel like that the whole world is on me. I have to pretend to be successful. I have to pretend to be happy. And on the inside, I was rotten. I was lonely. I was guilty. And I was scared. And I was the greatest pretender.
Mhm.
I'm so grateful on my 40th birthday. I finally took the courage to step out from a 19 years abusive marriage. It is the first time that I allow myself to explore who Martha truly was. That girl that had been bullied at school since the age of 6. That girl being sexually molested by someone she trusts, but she was too scared to tell people. And the hardest thing for me to admit was having a husband that constantly steal money from me, that constantly told me that I was worthless. The sentence that hurt me the most was when the moment that I asked him, why you're treating me this way? He said that I wasn't even worth a pile of dirt. That was the moment I realized I need to do better for myself. On my 40th birthday, I asked myself, Martha, living on to 60 years old was already enough because my life had been so colorful. I don't want to live more than 60 years old. And I said to myself, what do I want in life? I only got 20 years left, which is not a lot.
Mhm.
What do I want? And I look into the sky and I said, I want to be happy. I want to be free. So I make the decision of I need to leave this marriage. I need to find my sense of belonging again. I need to find my safety, security, and that sense of belonging, not something that I'm belonging to someone, but belong back to me. I need to find me. So after my birthday, I have a surprise party with my friends.
Hmm.
And then I flew to Brisbane to work the next day.
And
And when
I
I
have
come
to,
back,
Martha, I have to
yeah,
let the listeners know because, they can't see us, but they can hear us. But you are not the first to cry. And this is why it's so empowering for me when people share their story because, even though you all healed, but it's still talking about it and it still brings back those memories. And I always say there's nothing wrong with tears. You let it out because it's you letting you know that you still have life in you and you letting those emotions out. Martha had a little, her eyes were a little red. She was getting a little watery eyed. So it made me emotional whenever I see my guests crying
oh.
because I'm like, oh, okay, go ahead, Martha. I'm sorry.
No, it's lovely because um I went for a stage that I could not cry more than 30 seconds.
Oh.
And that was the most painful experience that you got all this emotion battle inside you,
Hmm.
but you can't express it. So these days, I actually look at having tears as a blessing
Hmm.
because I can finally let myself out. I can finally feel my calling again. So on my 40th birthday, after my trip to Brisbane, I come back home and say, and he was chucking a fuss again, breaking things around the house like usual,
Hmm.
chucking wine bottles at the glass. And I'm like, okay, that's enough. If you think that I'm not worthy, it's time for us to go our separate way. And that was the time that I truly put my foot down and say, that's it, enough is enough.
Hmm.
I started hiding money at my friend's place, putting it under the car carpet. And I even put money under 7 boxes inside 7 bags. Don't ask me how but he still was able to find it. So when I was leaving him, I was almost left with nothing. Nothing more than a few $100s in my bank account. I have a cat. Lucky I don't have a kid because I know he wasn't worthy to be a father. And I don't want to bring a kid to the world just because of my own selfishness of wanting to be a parent.
Hmm.
I know I can't provide a safe home for them. I
Hmm.
choose not to have a child. So I have my cat and like a house full of shit.
Hmm.
And what did I do at that time? I was so depressed. I was so depressed. And I remember I was teaching a hair and makeup private lesson from this beautiful young girl. And I know at that moment, I couldn't smile. Something that I treasure in my life is that I always feel like that there's hope, there's light, and there's my smile. But during that period, I lost all of that. And to my surprise, my students said that, oh my God, you were so amazing. You were teaching me all this stuff. I'm like, really? Honestly, I'm not even at 10% of my capacity. And I was being honest with her. And I said, how about I give you some extension because I feel like I'm not giving you my best
Hmm.
and I'm going through this. And she said, my auntie actually helped to people to declutter and clean houses. Maybe she can help you to move. And I'm like, really? Because I really needed the help. I was so depressed that every single day I walk into a house that is so messy and I just walk straight into my room and I just wanted to curl up and hide.
Hmm.
And I couldn't do anything more than packing up. And so I had a chat to this lovely lady. I said, this is how much I have left. I really don't have much. This is all I have. And she said, okay, I'll take on your job. And guess what? Not just her coming in, her whole family, including the husband, come
Oh.
and help me. The husband actually built my wardrobe over there and just helped me to school things together, like what a man can do.
Oh.
I was so grateful for the help that I get. He helped me to move house, and then going into my new place, setting myself up. I still remember coming back into the house that day, that when everything is done, I walk back in, see my cat, and I said to her, we're safe. We're finally safe. And that was the moment I feel, wow, after all this year of trauma, I finally can find myself again.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't waste time because I know if I only wanted to live 20 years, I wanted to be able to find a man that deserved my love.
Exactly.
So I started online dating. But my ex husband was the first guy that I ever been with. So I don't understand what is dating. I don't understand men, don't understand intimacy, don't understand all of that because I hardly get any. And then
Oh.
I have to went through probably about 60 different relationship courses and books and things like that because I want to understand, because I really don't know anything about relationship and intimacy. So before I become a confident coach, I was actually going to be a relationship coach because of how much I study on relationship. And I remember my friends, I know they're very supportive, but every single time when I tell them, oh, I'm actually seeing this person, I'm seeing this person, I'm seeing this person, hey, I got to keep my options open. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not tied down now. I need to find the right one, isn't it? I'm allowed to. And then it's like, oh my God, I can't even keep track with how many people you have. And I was like, I'm not sleeping with them, I'm just seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. But don't you find it so tiring? Like seeing all these people and you become a professional dater.
Yeah, you
And
do.
I'm like, you know what? If I know my worth, I know I'm valued, then I'm the prize. So if I want to get another prize, like winning the lottery,
Mm-hmm.
I need to first go to the news agent and buy the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't buy the ticket, it won't get there.
Exactly.
So I put myself out there in the dating world and meeting people. Yes, you miss some scammers, you miss some amazing friends, which I did. We're still friends. And after about a year and a bit, I finally find my current partner.
Oh.
And he's beautiful. And the funny thing was, I was going for trauma therapy at that time. And I tell my trauma therapist all my dating things, and she's like, oh, it's like she have to have popcorns and things like that, sitting down and listening to me because it was just so entertaining for her.
Oh.
Oh, and then we become really, really good friends. We're still friends to today. And it's so funny. And she said that, oh wow, you meet this amazing guy. Doesn't that he actually take off all your list, that the person that you say you've been waiting for? And I'm like, really? Is he? Oh, okay. Let me go back to my checklist and have a look.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he is. But I wasn't treating him that way. I was treating him with fear. I was cheating him with the moment of thinking that if anything goes wrong, if anyone have a red flag, I need to win.
Yeah.
I don't give him chances and I don't cooperate and I just gonna to win.
Yeah.
And what he did, the right person, he will just stick around
Yes.
and work things out with you.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who is listening out there, don't settle for second best. The right person, of course, treat them with respect. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be like me. My next book coming out is Do Not Do What Martha Did. You'll be very successful. Like the gateway, the fast way to success. That's actually what my next book is going to call. And the truth is that when we actually have respect, everything's starting to change. And during our relationship together, I started to learning NLP. I started to realize that how I was treating him, how much fear and scarcity that I have in my heart, that I was so afraid of being hurt. We all went there, isn't it? Being in
Mm-hmm.
abusive marriage for so long, every single little triggers, you're like, oh my God, I need to pack my bag and run.
Mm-hmm.
I probably packed my bag 3 times already in the 2 years of relationship that we had.
Oh.
But I finally realized it wasn't him. It was me.
Yeah.
That I was the scared bird. That I was scared to be hurt again. Not until I learned that, hey, even that I may get hurt again, I will not be as painful as the last time because I have learned how to not hurt myself that badly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I truly wanted to share with everyone. Don't be scared. I know it's scary. When you try something new, when you try to get out of your comfort zone, you will feel scared and you're afraid that you will go back into the same pain, same trauma, same feelings that you were once in. Believe me, your body have learned, your mind has learned, you have learned to be not in that painful state as you once was. Trust yourself and allow yourself to try. If I did give up, I would never find this beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Navy, so he's not here all the time. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that we don't have the connection. I feel closer to him when he's not here
Mm-hmm.
because I miss him more. And having this such beautiful balanced relationship is something that I always dream of and too scared to have. I remember recently before he left, we went on. My mom won a family photo shoot. It's like, hey, I won this
Oh.
$500 family photo shoot. Let's all dress up and go to the park and take some photos. So my whole family. I'm close to my family.
Okay.
And then, when we were doing makeup that day, my hands started to shake. I started to have tears coming out of my eyes, and I was hyperventilating. It's like I was having a panic attack. I didn't understand why. And he asked me, I tell him, I said, baby, something is wrong with me. Something is going on. I'm having this flux of emotion. And then he was thinking, okay, so what's wrong? And I started just bawling out.
Oh.
Well, I got my makeup on, I'm just bawling out. And I'm like, try to pat it as much as I can. Like I did put quite a bit on. And
Martha, get
and then
yourself
I'm
together.
Like,
You're
yeah,
saying.
and I'm like, oh, need to get that out, get that, we'll fix it. And then I'm like, I don't know, but I'm feeling very uneasy. I'm like, okay, babe, baby, it's okay. We have to go, we have to go. I'm like, okay, get into the car. I was still crying. And then he just let me settle. He hold the space for me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say anything until I calmed down my tears. And he asked me again, so what's going on? And because I have that time to process, I said, who the hell am I to be so happy?
Oh.
This is something that I dream of as a little girl. Having a beautiful family photo shoot together. Who the hell am I to be so happy? Am I worthy of this?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said to me? He didn't say to me that, baby, it's okay, I love you, or anything like that. No, he didn't. He's a very smart man. That's why I love him.
Oh.
He said to me, go and read your 4 books and then and then tell yourself what you're thinking. And I'm like, immediately I smile and say, baby, that's why I love you. You're so intelligent. And I immediately snap out of it and say, what the hell am I telling myself I'm not worthy? Look at all those books I've written. Look at all the success I have achieved. Who the hell am I not believing in myself that I'm worthy of this? So I snap out of it.
That's a good response because he didn't smoosh it up for you. He just said, go and read your 4 books and then you come back and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Because here you are doubting yourself, all the success that you have, and you're still doubting yourself in your mind, feeling as though you're not worthy.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, it's funny. My first husband, when I said that I want a man, all he has to do was being able to sing because I love singing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him. And then I didn't look at all the other stuff, okay? I was 21 at that time.
Gotcha.
So there you go. That's what happened. And then when I come out of the thing, I actually asked for 3 things. I asked for safety, security, and a sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
And also someone that is more intelligent than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm the smartest, but I am quite mentally capable
Mm-hmm.
of dealing with stuff. EQ, I should call it EQ.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I need someone who's smarter than me,
Mm-hmm.
who I can look up to. And he's amazing. He's also a coach. He's also an NLP pack, so he can handle me.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, he's just like, oh, he's just the like the ideal partner that I've been waiting for. And we just have this beautiful relationship now that he support me in everything that I do. He give me good feedback if I'm going into a situation. Like, you want a business is never easy. Okay, I want multiple businesses, so it's never easy. You have up and down, and being able to find someone that who understand. He haven't won businesses before, so on the business scale he doesn't know, but he can still support me in the ways that he needs to let me know that it's okay to try.
Yes.
It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to actually share your success with me, and he won't be jealous of me
That's good.
because my ex-husband did. The more successful I become, the more violent he become. The more self-doubt he has, the more pity he become. And that's just speaking to her. Like, I'm not stupid. When I pick a man, that he was a good person until I become more successful.
And it angered him.
It did. It did. In a way that I didn't know how to fix it back in the days. I didn't know that it was his confident level that was actually killing him. So learning this now that I know how to balance it with Malcolm, and especially with him, is he understands as well. He doesn't mind that he loves seeing me successful. He's I remember when we were first dating, because of COVID. It was because of COVID that I went into coaching. I was an international makeup artist, so I've traveled all over the world. I teach people on stage and things like that. During COVID, everything was shut down, so I got 3 shops all shut down, and I was of course, in a financial pickle. How much rent can you pay from your saving?
Gotcha.
It was really, really, really tough. And I'm pretty sure I probably cried for about 2 weeks because I just didn't know what to do. That was my only income. All my expenses, all my investment was in the wedding industry because I just love it so much. I love people so much. And then he suggested, say, you are so inspirational. You have so much knowledge. You've been a trainer for over 10 years. Why don't you learn to become a coach? And I'm like, really? I can do that? Like, I didn't know I can do mental side of things, because I see the most insecure woman sitting in front of me all the time. The people who are sitting on someone's makeup chair, they will not tell you, I love my skin, I love my eyes, my face is perfect. They would not say that. What would they say? My eyes is too small, my nose is too flat, my face is too big. That's the only thing I can hear from them. You will never hear someone sitting in front of my chair, even the celebrity or whoever it is, they will not tell you that they're happy with themselves. So I deal with insecure women every single day. That's what I've been doing for the last 16 years. I didn't know I can use my knowledge, my training, to help them to feel, wow, I am actually beautiful. No matter, makeup is just a tool. It's not a necessity. It's only a tool to make us feel better. If you feel like putting some makeup on, great, do it, no problem. If you don't feel like it, which that's what I normally do 90% of my day, wonderful. And people say, you're a makeup artist? Yes, I am. I'm an international makeup artist. Top 15 in Australia too. Doesn't mean I need to wear makeup every single day, because I feel good about myself. And that's where my confidence was actually coming in. And Malcolm actually gave me the title, super confident coach. I said, I want to be a confident coach. And then he said, why don't you call yourself super confident coach? And I'm like, really? I could do that? Oh, I'm a bit nervous, like a bit worried about it. Took me about 3 months to get used to it, because like it does take a bit of a time, like for you to build up that confidence, to realize that, you know what? I do believe in myself. I do believe in what I say. I know I can help other entrepreneurs, help other career women who needs to wear a mask as well, like I did every single day. The more successful they are, the heavier their mask is, because we don't show people our weakness. We think that asking for help was a weakness. We just toughen up and soldier on and get with it. But inside, we were craving for someone that will help us, craving for someone to listen to us, craving for that little bit of support that we can get, that sounding board, so we can lift up ourselves as well.
Exactly.
And I'm grateful to have so many mentors in my life that who have helped me up and lift me up. I'm so grateful for Malcolm giving
Mm-hmm.
me that support that I need during this time. And then, like, to my surprises, in when I was running my business, within 3 months I was already at what other people was thinking, like that is the target goal, 10K month. Like, I was already at that 3 months into my coaching business,
Oh,
and
this
everyone
is
asked, how
good.
did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? And that's how I become a business coach for coaches as well. So I help two kind of people. One person is the woman, the career woman who needs support in
Mm-hmm.
confidence and finding themselves again, finding that voice, but not the angry voice, not
Mm-hmm.
the masculine voice, but the feminine voice in them. So
Mm-hmm.
they can have a balance in their life. So they don't become this person that have nails stepping on everyone. They
Yes.
become this person that people want to join and work with them. And that's the big difference. And I also help new coaches to build up their business so they can follow my step as well into achieving the goals that they want. Because when I transitioned from the confident coach to a business coach,
Mm-hmm.
I was having that battle as well, because my mission is to have no woman should suffer in silence.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't want any other woman to suffer for bullying silently, to suffer for sexual abuse silently, to suffer in domestic abuse silently, who suffers in their struggle in building their business, building their career silently. I don't want that to happen. So when I transitioned to a business coach, I was a bit worried that I would leave those people behind. And I was talking to one of a trauma coach in a boot camp that we went to when we were studying. And she said, you know what? The people who wants to find you, they
Mm-hmm.
will. You will never leave those people behind. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, you're right, because I want to help coaches to become a better coach so they can help even more people. Because I'm only one person, I can only do so much. My goal is to expand my nonprofit organization, the
Mm-hmm.
Confident Project, to all over the world for people who could not afford coaching, and to give them some sessions to help them to be on the right path and get on their way.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal into doing that.
Now,
And
Martha. Oh, go ahead.
mm,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Martha.
no, 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 all good, all good.
So I had a few questions for you. I wanted to go back
Mm,
into your childhood. Now, you had been married in your first marriage for 19 years, you said.
mm,
You had been bullied at school from the age of 6 years old,
mm,
from what you can remember, and sexual molestation you dealt with as a
mm.
child. Was it someone in the family?
It was a relative, that an uncle that I actually know,
Oh,
and it was when I was very young. It was from, like, we have family gatherings,
mm-hmm.
and I remember we go to their house, and then he would take me to a room looking at neon lighting, and then he started to touch me all over. I didn't know what it was until I
Oh,
was older. I
how
didn't
long did
know
this
that it
take
was not.
place?
Probably went for about a year or more. I
Oh,
can't remember anymore, but it was a memory that I literally blocked in myself.
gotcha.
I did, because it literally blocked it. Not until I went into the self development and self help industry.
Mm-hmm.
All those memory was blocked because
Gotcha.
I didn't even want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of that starting to come up, I was like, oh my God, like, I think the first person I saw was my partner. I said, I have not told anyone about this. I have
Mm-hmm.
not told a soul in the world, but I'm sending you this. He was away on deployment, and I was sending him this email, and he just accepted me as me. He didn't look down on me or anything like that. He just accepted me as me. Every single day he looked at me and said, there's more story in you. I said, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even know I have that many stories inside of me until the more that I look into myself and allowing myself to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first I was this woman that you will never know what's happening behind my mask. You will never know. I will pretend to be the happiest person on stage. I'll
Mm-hmm.
pretend that I'm the one that who's loudest, who's out there and everyone can follow me. I'm a leader.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as I get off that stage, that's when the pain comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, your smile don't lie.
Yeah.
The one thing that it doesn't lie. I look at my photos 10 years ago. It was my birthday 3 months ago, and my partner wasn't here. I was in lockdown. I'm like, oh, so sad. But then when I'm looking at my photo from Facebook memory,
Mm-hmm.
that is said for the last 10 years, like before the 2 years I met my current partner, I have a look at the photos. None of them was a photo of me smiling in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
My smile was like this.
You could tell it was
That was
fake.
my photo holding a cake like this. That was the only photo I can find. And then everything else was luxury items.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers, cake, fine dining, my Louis Vuitton fan bag, whatever that you said. That was my life for that long. And the last 2 years, once I met him, the photo that I took the first year we met was we were at the snowy mountain. I have no makeup on, have a really cute bun, like those snow hat, and I just took a photo selfie of myself. I can see my freckles coming out. I can see all my skin folds. It was cold, but I have the most genuine, beautiful smile. And I have a look at the photo ever since I've been with him, comparing to what I have for the last 30 30 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
The smile doesn't lie. I am so happy now. And all my friends said to me, I recently posted a photo of me 13 years ago doing my makeup with a client and say, oh, do you think I have changed? And everyone said that, yeah, you have changed.
That's
Because
good.
look at your smile.
Yeah.
Look at your smile today. It's truly genuine.
You're definitely right about that because a smile in a picture, when someone takes a picture, and if you compare how from the negative in their life to the positive in their life, it makes a huge difference, Martha. And if you really look at someone's smile, you can tell if they're suffering or not. I definitely agree with you 100%. And I wanted to
Yeah.
comment on when you started talking about the masculine and the feminine, the
Mm.
masculine and the feminine energy. That's something I had to learn myself, even how to balance,
Mm.
because with the trauma that I had been through, I didn't realize that I was projecting a lot of masculine energy to my
Yeah.
husband. And I had to learn how to bring it down, Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
because somebody has to be feminine. And it definitely
Mm.
ain't going to be him. So I'm going to have
Yeah.
to bring it a whole couple notches down because I was projecting that masculine energy to the point where it
Mm-hmm.
was just ridiculous, Martha.
Yeah.
It really
I
was.
hear you. I hear you. I was that person, and then like when Malcolm tell me that, oh, you're so controlling. What do you mean by controlling? I'm just caring. What are you talking about that? I'm
Yep.
just caring. I didn't know the difference between care and control. So this is what I learned that I
Mm-hmm.
love to share with everyone. It's like you're giving a kid something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Have it. It's very good for you. Have it. It's very good for you, and it's very nice, tasty. Have it because I tell you so, because it's very good for you, it's good for your long-term health, and then you started to bring all those benefit in it, but that's your perception. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the kid's perception.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was doing was that using my care, my perception, my belief, and my value projected onto another person
Mm-hmm.
by all my masculine energy. So it's like he's a very masculine guy, and then I'm very masculine. So we're like fighting like there's no tomorrow. Not really. But the truth is, it's just like I can feel the energy shift now in me
Yeah.
when I'm actually with him,
Yeah.
that I become softer. Not that I'm quiet, like I never will actually say, okay, if I don't like something, I will tell him. Like
Mm-hmm.
this, despite that, if I have tears come out or things like that, doesn't matter. I will still share with him. That's the one thing I promise him. I'll always be honest with you.
Good.
If you don't do something right, I will call you out. And if
Good.
I did something bad, you're welcome to actually say it to me. I may cry, I may chuck a fuss, but then I'll accept it and then move on. Okay, that's just me.
That's good. That's good. And I know what you mean by, you're still masculine, but you are finding good balance. That's what you're doing.
Mm,
And that's a good thing to do. Now, I wanted to ask you 19 years you were in this marriage, and
mm,
at your 40th birthday, that's when you realize, okay, enough is enough. And you
mm,
even admit, you said you met him when you were 21. You also said he was the first everything.
mm.
So, when did you realize the red flags started to project their little head? What year into the relationship? And why do you think,
3 months after we got
what?
married.
Martha, 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months.
So you really stuck it through trying to
Mm-hmm.
make it work.
I didn't think that marriage was just like, oh, what, before I signed the paper, I said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if I don't like him, I just get a divorce. When you
Okay.
sign the paper, it's a completely different feeling.
Okay.
I feel like that I'm responsible for him. I feel like that I'm responsible for this marriage. I feel like that I need to work on my best to make sure that I have tried absolutely everything before I give up.
Okay.
So 3 months into our marriage, he was already not coming home. He was already partying at night. And then I would be this stupid woman sitting at the bus stop at 3 a.m. in the morning, sitting down, waiting for him to come home for 2 hours just because I was that needy. I was the needy. I admit it because
Martha,
from
why are you at
the,
the bus stop? Why didn't you just stay home?
I don't know. I really don't know. I actually just got out and wait for him at the bus stop, just hoping that I will see his bus coming in, and wait for him. Like those night buses, like that is very far away,
Is this
and and
an
and that was
Australian
whenever.
thing?
No. I was actually in Hong Kong. I
Oh,
was
you were
actually
in
in
Hong
Hong Kong.
Kong at the time.
I met him in Hong Kong. I
Oh,
I've been in Australia for over 30 years. But then on my 2020, just before I was 21st, I went to Hong Kong
okay.
for a 3 months holiday, and
Okay.
that's when I met him. And when I met him,
Oh.
I stayed there for 3 years before I came back to Australia.
And he came with you.
He came with me until that time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, in the thing, yeah, 3 months I started to see, like, first 3 months I was smiling every single day. It was absolutely like the most sweet thing because I was so needy. I
Mm.
was bullied to the point that no one in the school was talking to me for 3 whole years. I was bullied to the point that I never had a birthday party after the age of probably 13 or 14 because someone actually came into my house and used glue to glue our keyhole on the front door and draw my name on my dad's car. That was how much I was bullied. So I never had a birthday party since that age until I was 40. That was the big moment, that the first birthday party I had for all this year.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Mm.
So were you raised in Hong Kong?
I was raised in Hong Kong until I was 10, and then
Okay.
we moved over here when we was 11.
Okay.
And at 21, like just before 21, I went to Hong Kong for a holiday with my friend for 3 months.
Okay.
And it was good for me because I started working as a part-timer at Paddy's Market, which is a place that is like a market. I sell
Okay.
pictures
Okay.
for since the age of 13.
Okay.
And because I always look mature, they didn't know I was that young until one day I tell them that I was only 13 years old. I was, oh, I'm using child labor. I was like, but I'm fine. Like, I work well. I have that beautiful work ethics. So I was the supervisor of the two store that they have there.
What?
Like, I was just
When did you
really
go to
young, and
school, Martha?
I still go to school. I still go to school 5 days a week and then go to the Paddy's Market and work 2 days a week. So I was very busy my whole life. I was used to it. From the age of 13, I never have to ask my parents for 1 cent.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't have to ask them for money.
They
Like,
were
they're
okay
not
with you
wealthy.
working?
Oh, they're fine. Like, they love it because it's like, oh, good. Like, you're not very smart, then go and work. Like, that's Asian. Like,
Oh,
they do that. Like, either you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, or like a doctor. If you're not any of that, go and work. That's how they think. So I
okay.
didn't mind it because I enjoy working. I enjoy having that
Okay.
independency and customer service and all of that. And I was there for 5 years before
Okay.
I move on into doing, I was in Kendong at the airport. And in the airport, what is good about it? They have morning shift, afternoon shift, and evening shift.
Yes.
You know what I did? I actually have two jobs. I was working for another company called Overton, a leather
Mhm.
company, in the morning at 6 o'clock to about afternoon. Then
Mhm.
I work on a night shift at Kendong. So saving good money. Like I was good at saving money at that time.
That's
So I
good.
went to Hong Kong, quit my job, like not really quit my job, took a 3 months holiday,
Uh-huh.
and and then I just like went and be in Hong Kong. And then I still remember the day I met him. I I was on like ICQ. I don't know if you guys, any of like the older people actually remember
What's CQ?
ICQ. That was ICQ. It was before
ICQ.
Facebook. It was before Facebook. It was before Skype. It was before all of that.
Oh,
So there's a communication channel. It's just like Messenger. They called ICQ. That was very long time ago. And I met a guy there, and he's a much older guy, but
okay.
he was really nice. And I said, I'm going to Hong Kong. Let's meet in Hong Kong, and we did. So he was among one of this person's friend.
Okay.
Okay, like, so he wasn't the guy that I was talking to, but he was among those friends that
Okay.
they have in there. And I still remember that one day he was wearing this white top with like no collar, and he's good looking. Okay, I'm very lucky. The guys that I actually dated
The
are actually
first,
quite good. I
the
go and say,
first, the first husband we're
first
talking.
person, yeah,
Okay.
first husband. He is actually quite good looking, and he just walked down and was like, "Wow, this guy looks good." And then we went to karaoke, of course, because I love karaoke, and he can sing as well. So that was my only two requirement because I had money at that time. I was smart. I didn't need to do worry anything about that. So that was it. It was just like 2.5 months about time, decision time for me to either go or stay. He used my wing. I was having a diamond wing on myself already, like at that age. And then he kneel down and say, "Why don't you marry me and stay here with me?" And I did. And I still remember we went to the peak and then bought a matching wing, and we have no reception. It was a little bit of we went to the registry. I wasn't wearing a wedding dress. I did my own hair and makeup. The only thing I feel like a bride that day was my bouquet. My family did not even know. I was
Martha,
too scared to tell my family.
I think your hitch wedding is tops it all for all my freaking guests. Martha, you met this guy and literally, like, he takes the ring off of your finger. I need to repeat this.
I know.
And this is what he offers as a proposal. And Martha's
Mm-hmm.
just like, all right, let's go.
That was how needy I was.
Oh shit.
I was
Red flag, red
craving
flag,
for
red
love.
flag. But this is what my therapist told me too. At such
Mm,
a young age, hubby and I have been together since we were 15, 16. Martha. Of course,
mm,
you were older, you were 21. But you know what I realized? At that age, you have no motherfucking idea what it means
yep.
to cultivate a healthy relationship. A
Mm-hmm.
relationship is all about an experience. And with each new
Mm-hmm.
partner, you're experiencing a new situation. But when
Mm,
you're young, like I'm 38 now, and I'm
mm,
still, I still consider myself young and I'm still learning. But
mm.
when I look at 15, 16,
Yeah.
17, 18-year-old Shirley,
Yeah.
stupid when it comes to what is required of a healthy relationship. I had no fucking idea, Martha. None.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I was the same because otherwise, why would I stay in an abusive marriage for 19 years?
Yeah, but
Why
you
would
didn't
I
know
do
any
that?
better. And it's
I
not
didn't know
good.
any
You
better.
didn't know any better.
And I made a promise to his dying mum. One of the reasons why we moved back to Australia was because his mum passed away. And I
Oh.
remember that I said to her that don't worry, I will look after him. And I kept that promise to the best way. I'm a very loyal person, and I
Mm.
say what I say. I do what I say I will do. I don't limbo, I don't regret, I don't do any of that. Even from a young age, I think it's because that I've been in the society for such a long time since the age 13. So I
Mm-hmm.
took responsibility of every single word I say. I
Mm-hmm.
was a supervisor of marketing since the age of 21.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in Hong Kong. I was only 21. I was supervisor in marketing already. So people saw that quality in me from a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept that in me, in knowing that I need to maintain my promise. So we have good days, we have bad days. And the good days are sweet. Like he will buy me the most because he thinks that buying you luxury gift is a form of loving.
Mm.
He doesn't like, I always say to him that one handbag does not satisfy me from all the things that you said to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he thinks that it was just payback already. So what are you
Mm.
talking about? That's like a $5,000 bag. So
Yeah. He doesn't understand.
doesn't mean anything.
That's not my language. I don't understand
That's
that.
normal language.
No, you
No.
need to figure something out. This is not
Mm,
maybe another woman that might
mm,
satisfy their needs, but not me. This is not how I
yeah,
want you to show
not
me
me.
love. Yeah.
Mm,
So,
mm.
was he way older than you?
No, he's only 5 years
Oh,
older
that's
than
not a
me.
lot. That's not anything out of the
That's
ordinary.
not
You're
a
21,
lot.
he's still in his 20s, so you both are still
Yeah,
young, a young
yeah.
couple. Okay. And can I ask you, you were with him for
Sure.
19 years. We're both
Mm,
women. I do
mm,
feel as though when it comes to conceiving,
mm.
women have a lot of control over that more than men do. It takes two to tango. But did you intentionally make a decision not to get pregnant, Martha, because you knew?
I I fall pregnant within 3 months that we were together, and
Oh,
I couldn't hold the baby. I couldn't hold it.
Oh.
My body didn't actually allow it. So I took the decision of not to actually give birth to the beautiful boy that I'm supposed to have. And it still haunts me until the day that I went into a psychic and she said that there's a little boy next to you. And I was just burst out crying because I have
Oh.
not told anyone. And then she's like, oh, but don't worry, he become a scholar and he's really good. He's doing like he's helping people all around the world. And I'm like, that's exactly what I would do because I love helping people. And I'm like, I call him my guardians now. Like, so his name is Guardian. And
Oh.
he is just my guardians to who help me on all the way. And I never fall pregnant again, which is a good thing because I never really wanted to have a kid with
Mm-hmm.
him. So it just didn't happen afterwards. And like even with my current partner, I don't want to have a kid anymore. I'm 43 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit, I'm already too old for it. Doesn't mean I can't conceive. My friend was just telling me, like, you can still conceive. I said, I don't
Yeah,
want to.
that's the new thing
That's
now,
the truth.
Martha. Pregnant at 40.
Yeah, I don't want to. I love my life. I love
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I can just leave my cat and my sister-in-law and then I can travel. Like I love traveling. Like my cat is already my baby, okay? She's a handful. She's called the destroyer. That's how lovely she is. She's absolutely amazing. Without her, I can't live. Pretty much that like without her, it's just crazy. And that's enough for me. Like
Okay.
I particularly didn't mind to find a man that have a kid. Like Malcolm has a child,
Okay.
so he has a 9-year-old girl. So
Okay.
I'm happy, and they are in a very good relationship with his ex partner. So I'm fine with his ex partner as well. Like
That's
we
good.
get together, we have dinner and stuff like that. Doesn't trouble me. That's really open person. Like
Very,
for me,
that's
it's like
healthy. You know,
it's just like it doesn't trouble me at all.
when it's not always like that when you have what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for, Martha? When you have uh what's the word I'm looking for? Now when you have a not multiple family. I'll think of the word later. Yes,
Extended
an
family.
extended family. It's good
Mm,
when all parents can
yeah.
coexist
Mm,
without it being a fight because the children need it. It's healthy for the
mm,
child when they can say,
yeah.
wait a minute, that's my dad, that's my mom,
Yeah.
but that's stepmom. Okay, and they're all in the room together. So this is normal. This is okay. This is how
Yeah.
it should be. The 9-year-old needs to see that
Yeah.
because you don't know what her relationship is going to be. We don't know if she's going to
Yeah.
want children. We don't know if she's going to meet a guy with children. So she needs to
Yeah.
see what healthy is. So that is good that you
Mm,
guys are doing that in front of her.
yeah.
Now,
Well, totally don't mind.
yeah, that's good. Now, I wanted to ask you when you said you went to a boot camp, was this after
Mm.
you had left your husband? And was the boot camp like therapy when you say boot camp? What exactly was it?
It was during the time that I was doing my coaching. The first coaching courses I went to was a complete bomb. I have
Oh,
to say that $6,000 that I spent on that coaching was really not
uh,
what I was expecting. Yeah, that's why people, if you're looking for a coach, be very careful. There's a lot of non-satisfaction places outside.
oh,
So be
wow.
very careful and have a really good talk with the person and see if you can align with them. So that's also in saying that, that's also my inspiration why I developed my own courses for coaches,
Gotcha.
because I have seen enough of people getting burned,
Mm-hmm.
paying for a course that they don't have any support. And I actually offer one on one support to my clients so they can actually get the help they need despite any situation. So that's what
Gotcha.
I offer to my people. So,
Gotcha.
like, in saying that, that was my second course that I went to. Like, I spent over $50,000 on myself on learning self development, NLP, law of attractions, intuitive intelligence. I learn all of that. And the grateful thing is Malcolm is also a coach. So I get to learn his PhD in coaching as well.
He
So
has a
I'm so happy.
PhD in coaching.
PhD in coaching. So I
I've never
love it.
heard of that.
So
That's such a thing. You could
it's,
get your
it's, it's a course
PhD.
that he's actually a course that he's doing is called PhD.
Oh
So
my,
it's a very comprehensive course. So I actually get to learn that as well, which is amazing.
that's
So
good.
I love him for it. And that's how you become this person that who are very equipped. A
Hmm.
lot of business coaches out there or life coaches out there, they hardly got any clients. They don't know how to actually deal with situation. And it's true, the more people you deal with, the better you become.
Hmm.
And it is about experience. And I do get talked down and say, what? You only be in the industry for what? Like, a year and a bit? Like, how experienced are you? I'm like, I've been dealing with people for over a long time.
Yes.
And I have been running my business since the age of 26.
Yes.
Whatever you don't know, I actually know because I have run multiple businesses in my life and
Mm-hmm.
I was very successful. I only need to work 2 days a week and that's it. That's all I have to work on. So coming into a new industry, it was okay for me. It wasn't too bad because I sort of used the same strategies that I use in the makeup world and building up my business going into this business as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it built up really fast. I was able to become a six-figure coach within 12 months. So people say, oh my God, that's just crazy. Like, how did you do that? And I was like, a lot of hard work and knowing what to do
And
and
you
have the
mastered your craft.
I mastered my craft and understanding vulnerability is not a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one thing. Entrepreneur people, this mask is very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and vulnerability is like the most scary thing they ever have to face.
Mm-hmm.
Being not perfect is scary to them. For me, I'm like, oh, I make a mistake. A bad spelling? Oh, okay. Ah, bad grammar. Okay. Do you understand it? You understand it? Great. Done. That's my purpose. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Intentionally
Exactly.
served. So I have that confidence now to actually understand it. But when I first started, I didn't. I was crying about it for 3 days when people was just trying to help me screenshot. I said, that's a bad spelling. That's a bad grammar. And I was crying for about 3 days. But they were just trying to help me. So there's nothing wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me. I wasn't strong enough until the day I put a post out and say, I'm a confident mistake creator.
Oh, I like that. I'm a confident
I make
mistake creator.
creator. I make mistake, but I'm confident about it. And I'm okay to make mistakes because it's not a failure. It's just another learning. I have learned another way not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I see life now. It's like we always want to say things that is like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't want that. In law of attraction, we don't say no, don't, or not. We actually say, I'm in the progress of getting abundance, wealth. I'm in the process of getting love. I'm in the process of doing that. Doesn't that energy feels a lot nicer?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, I don't want this, I don't want that, I want that, I want this, no problem as well. You can say, I want it and I have it. I want it and I have it. That's the difference. The world, the universe give you things, there's no negative or positive because every single thing have positive and negative. Just like a pen here,
Mm-hmm.
the positive is I can write, the negative is it make my hand sore. There's always a negative and positive, but
Mm-hmm.
what do we focus on? I choose to focus on the pens, the pen as that it can help me to write, put my message down and remind me instead of the fact that I'm having nail marks on my hands and things like that. So what do we choose to focus on? Any relationship that we have with people around us, there's always a good and bad relationship. One thing it could happen, but when you're vibrating at a different energy level, you could be telling, oh, like, you look silly today. One sentence. If my partner said that to me, I would say, ha, really? Instead of, what are you talking about? That insecurity come out. I said, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think that I look silly today? Like, what the hell are you talking about? That's looking at the negative.
Mm-hmm.
But if he said to me, say, oh, really? I love it. I love it too. I know you love it, baby. Thank you. That's what I say to him now. I won't have that insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you master your confidence, that's when the insecurity will go away.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what people doesn't understand is that when you have insecurity, it eat up on you every single day. And it's hard. It's so hard. And then you think, oh, it's harder. It's harder. When you keep telling yourself it's hard, it's never going to happen. But when you tell yourself that I'm in the process of overcoming this, that's when things starting to move.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth because I have tried it so many times. I have to try it so many times that it got me out of every situation. That's one of the reasons why I'm learning at the moment intuitive intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never a spiritual person. Like I don't do yoga, I don't go to churches, but I have respect for all religions.
Mm-hmm.
I have respect for all culture, all people, because I believe we're just human. We despite of our ways or color or age, doesn't matter. We're just human.
Yep.
Okay, we deserve the same right. We deserve all the same. Man or woman doesn't matter. We're just human. living in this world, breathing the same air, exactly the same thing. So for me, I feel like that when we know to how to control our vibration,
Mm-hmm.
to flick things and look at things in a much more positive way. Even someone said that you look silly, you're like, oh, really? I think it looks really cool too. Thank you for commenting on it. Exactly the same sentence, but our reaction, the control come back to us
Yes.
because we can choose what it is. I starting to say this sentence to myself now. Whenever that I'm having a triggers, whenever like I said, we have triggers, we have emotions. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely normal. And then I said, do I give the power to the people who hurt me, or do I choose to take the power back so I am more powerful than the people who hurt me? And I repeat that again.
Mm-hmm.
You are more powerful than the person who hurt you, as long as you choose not to give that power away. A lot of us get hold and trapped by something called history, the past. We get trapped by it so much that we can't breathe sometimes. We stay in that emotion that happened 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why? There's no return on investment.
Yeah.
But, but it's comforting. It's knowing. I know how it feels, so it's not scary anymore. But what is the return on investment? I'm a very business minded people.
Zero.
Return on investment. Ask yourself, what is the return on investment by holding on to that pain? If there's none, why are you doing it to yourself?
And Martha, that's a good way of looking at it. Why are you holding on to that pain? What is your return of investment by doing that?
Mm-hmm,
There is none. There is zero. Because at some point you
mm-hmm,
have to let go to be able to live the life that you want, that you desire, that
mm-hmm,
you aim for. Your past is your past. You can't continue to consistently beat yourself up about it every
mm-hmm.
living, aching moment of the day. It serves you no
Exactly.
purpose. Serves you no
I
purpose at
agree.
all. Now, I wanted to ask you, what is one piece of advice before we go today that you want to offer to women who went from tragedy to triumph? Because your story is absolutely tragedy to triumph, because you've admitted to us that the 19 years that you were in that relationship, and we're not even focusing on the trauma that you went through in your childhood, the 19 years you were in that relationship, you admittedly say 3 months in, I knew shit was going downhill. But week after week, month after month, year after year, you stayed. You stayed, you stayed, you stayed. And Martha, there is a woman out there right now listening that is in this same situation.
Mm,
Rather emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, that's in a relationship right now and can't seem to understand, why can't I just walk away? And one thing my therapist had said before you give your comment is, he said that person obviously is getting some sense of comfort, that
mm-hmm,
it's not easy for them to walk away. It's easy for someone on the outside of the box to be like, just
mm-hmm,
climb out. Why the fuck you
mm-hmm,
just don't climb out? It's a
mm-hmm.
lot easier said than done.
I completely agree with you. The reason why I didn't step out was, again, my neediness.
Mm-hmm.
I was too scared, too old, too fat, too ugly, because that was what I've been told,
Mm-hmm.
that to find someone else. And God, I'm proving everyone wrong.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And the thing is, for those people who were in my position, you don't need to listen to what other people say because they're not you. But ask yourself, if you only have another 10 days to live,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want in your life? You only have 10 days left. What do you want in your life? Do you want it to stay like this? Or are you starting to have that little bit of a bravery to find the life that you want? So you have the next 10 days a happy one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at it in a 3 months, 6 months, way too long. Back in the days when I was in that situation, I couldn't even look past a week.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 days was already a very big ask. So ask yourself, I only got 10 days left. What do I want? Despite what everyone else is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And once you ask yourself that if you want what I want at that moment, I just want to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then start asking the people around you, what support can you give me if I choose to get out? Because that's what I did. I know I couldn't do it alone. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't financially independent enough. And I did not ask my parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't know
Okay.
because I was that tough and I don't want them to worry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't ask my parents. So I asked all my friends. And there's a lot of people out there that can help you. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of support group out there. Even though you say, he like narcissists will literally block you from anyone that you know.
Yeah.
Go into those women shelters, go into those women hotline. They even have websites that you can go into. They have a separate page. If someone walk into the room, you can pretend that you're shopping for something. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be scared. Okay, buy a SIM card that you can actually change into so they can't check your phone record.
Oh, that's
Do
a good
something
one,
for
Martha.
yourself.
A
Yeah,
SIM
do
card.
something for yourself. A SIM card is cheap. Go into supermarket, sneak it into in there, and just buy that SIM card for yourself, for your phone to call. Get to a next door neighbor or someone like that I say, do you mind if I borrow your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. But keep this quiet with me. Ask for help. Because when you're starting to ask for help, people will help you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be very, very surprised. I didn't know that. I thought I was the only failure in the world. I didn't know that there was so many people who was just like in my position. There were so many kind people outside. When I moved my house, if I didn't met my friend that who did the coloring, I don't even know how I'm gonna move. I really don't know. And if I didn't have my friend that was willing not even to take the bond for my rental place, she said, no, don't worry about the bond, just come in and leave.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't pay for the rent, I could support you for about a month or two. And she had 2 child herself. She worked on a job that is paying $16 per hour. And even she helped me onto that. I said, don't worry, I'm okay. I'll pay you onto, I can pay the rent for a month, but I don't have any more than that. And guess what? When you want it bad enough, the universe will help you.
Yes.
And immediately I got some jobs that gave me a few $1,000s up front. The lady was so good. She booked me in for 2 weddings and that was $6,000 right there. And she just paid me straight away. And I was just so grateful for that I can pay my removalers, I can pay my cleaners, I could pay a little bit of a rent, and I would just keep going into my life and to doing it. The universe will look after you if you allow it
Mm-hmm.
and surrender to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever have happened to you is not your fault. Whatever is happening to you is not your fault. Don't think that because you choose to be in that situation is your fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because you don't know what's better. I didn't know what was better outside. I didn't know I could meet such a beautiful, amazing man. I thought that I would be all wrinkly, ugly, and because all those labels that they've been telling me, all this label that they have shared with me, I thought that was me. I didn't know I could find my sense of belonging next to him.
Yeah.
And I love to share this story, very, very quick last story to share with all of you. I found me at a nightclub when I was on a drag and dine show with Malcolm, my partner.
Mm-hmm.
We went on to this show together. And that night, I was wearing something very revealing because I just feel like it. And he said, baby, you look beautiful. You do look like a very expensive hooker, but you do. Yeah, he's like that. And then I said, "Oh, thank you, baby," because that means that I'm super sassy. I said, "Yeah, you are great. I'm happy with that." So see that confidence shift.
Yeah.
And then when we were there, I started to see the drag queen standing on the bar and dancing and things like that. And I started singing out of the top of my lungs. I started to dance with them. I was like shading my hands and everything onto there. And I did peek at him. I peeked to see his reaction. My ex-husband or my family would say, You're too loud. You're embarrassing yourself. You're an embarrassment. Shut up. Like, you're just embarrassing. You're not worthy of this. That's the old voice that has been always in my head. So I was scared. So I pick on him. He just laughed. He just having a great time with me. And that night was the night I peel off all those fucking labels that have been put on me. All those unworthiness, I'm too loud, I'm embarrassing, I'm this and that. It been all peeled off. I was me at that night. And that one was when I realized I finally find my sense of belonging next to him. Not that I belong to him, but I found me. And I'm proud to be me. So ladies, if you got girlfriends to go out and actually do something like that, do it. Because that's the moment when you're truly yourself and you can tell yourself it's time to peel off those fucking labels that they've been burdened into you for all your life. You are worthy. You can peel off those labels now and tell yourself that you are you. Just the perfect you. The imperfect you is perfect. Be that person, and you are allowed to.
I like how you said earlier, no woman should suffer in silence. That's really nice. And that's the truth, because no woman should suffer in silence. Don't be scared to speak up and to voice yourself. And Martha said it best. Remove those labels, because you are not what people say that you are. Very true. Martha, this was an awesome conversation. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your story with everyone, our listeners, because trust and believe me, I get feedback all the time, and this is definitely going to resonate with our listeners, because I love where you are right now. You basically took all that garbage and you just let free of it, let it go. Within 12 months, your business is absolutely prospering because you are making over six figures. I mean, that alone is a blessing. The universe is just blessing you like, we got you, Martha. 19 years you suffered, but we got you now. Don't worry. You know, this is such a blessing.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. And starting to realize that how blessed I am. Like, I recently did an open letter to my ex to actually talk about that I forgive him. And the one thing that ladies you need to remember is to forgive yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Not just to forgive that person, but to forgive yourself. And you are allowed to.
Yep. Absolutely. Forgiveness with yourself is first, and then, you know, forgive others, you know, and also remember that it is okay. You have to forgive yourself, number one, and let go of the negativity. Even if that person is holding anything about the situation, that's not of your concern, because remember, it starts with you. It starts with you. So as always, when we end this episode, Martha, thank you for being a guest on the show. And listeners, thank you for listening. No problem. And remember to love yourself, voice yourself, and be yourself. To the next episode. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Fulfil Podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your takeaways, I want to hear from you. Head on over to the website or join our Facebook community and comment your favorite part of the show or share your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Chat with you next week.